When it comes to concealed carry, we have a lot of different options, but when it comes to guns like this, is this just a ploy to get somebody to buy a gun based on a pretty color, or is it a legitimate concealed carry option? Almost every manufacturer has done this at some point. They will take the smallest gun that they have in their lineup, throw some pretty colors at it, and then, of course, these guns stand out in the case, and that is the metric that some people will use to buy the gun instead of how the gun shoots, how it feels in their hand, how's the trigger, is it something that they're actually going to carry? And that should be the real metric. And so today, no matter if you're a woman and you're looking for your first concealed carry, or you're a man trying to help your woman out in getting her first concealed carry, hopefully I can steer you in the right direction, because I am going to talk about one in particular that I think is a terrible first concealed carry option. Then I'm going to talk about one that was actually tastefully done, but also provides women with the training tools and necessary stuff to get them started in the right way. Let's go and get into it. Now, before we get to that, are these pretty guns actually an issue at all? And I would say that depends on the shooter and their experience. For example, I have this Tiffany blue Glock 42. No, this is not my daily carry, but yes, I have carried it because no matter the color, it is still a tool that is used to potentially save your life. It's a convenient concealed carry, but by the time I bought this from a sex shot, she was already an established, really good shot. And so she knew how to handle a gun, pretty much any gun, from the smaller carry guns up to the full-size guns. The gun she's looking at now, she wants one of the Rainbow P365 380s. So it is an effective way to get women into concealed carry. And so on that front, I really have no problem with it, because if they're concealed carrying, that turns them from a potential victim to a defender of themselves and their family. So I think that's an awesome thing. And it works. I mean, women love pretty things. And even when it comes to guns, as long as it is reliable and as long as the woman that's buying it has experience across the board with all kinds of guns and she knows how to handle one, at that point, like I said, I have no problem with this whatsoever. I'd say go for it. Now, I know this may sound counterintuitive, but the smaller the gun, the harder it is to shoot. And the reason is because, you have a lighter gun here and a 380 or even a 9mm, so there's less mass and stuff to actually absorb the recoil. So you, the shooter, actually feel more of that. Instead of taking like a full-size gun and training on something like that, where you have more bulk, you have more mass, but you also have less felt recoil and muzzle rise. So if this is a first-time gun, and again, this is, assuming that it's one of the smaller carry guns, because this is where I see this the most. There are some examples. I found a Canic the other day in Allied Arms, and it was one of the Miami Night ones. It was a, full-size option. And so at that point, I don't really care what it looks like, because that is a good training gun and a good home defense gun at that. And so, it doesn't matter to me at that point what color it is. That may be a good option for you to start with, as opposed to like the Sky CPX2. But Sky is one of the worst offenders because they have a whole lineup of these different colors and all this kind of stuff, and it's part of their marketing. But that's not the issue. The issue that I've seen with them is that they're unreliable. I bought one of these like a year and a half or 2 years ago, and the thing failed within 50 rounds. Now that's one example from the company. So to judge them just on the one that I got would be kind of unfair, but I've seen where other people have had issues with them. Now every manufacturer has had issues at some point, but typically your Glocks, your SIGs, Smith & Wessons, Ruger, Walther, all of these companies make really good, reliable guns for the most part. And a lot of them have budget options too. But just because it's on a budget doesn't mean it can be unreliable. The two do not go hand in hand. Now, I don't know how their new CPX4s are actually performing. They may be doing really well, but at the same time, it's just not a company or a gun that I think is a good carry gun, much less a good first gun. Because another thing that these things have going against them is they are really hard to shoot. They have a 9-pound trigger pull. It's a double action only, where almost every other manufacturer is going to striker fired. Striker fired gives you a consistent trigger pull. It's also lighter and it's easier to learn on. And so for all of those reasons, the Sky CPX2 is one of those brands that I do not like because they have the pretty colors, they are fairly inexpensive, but they are hard to shoot. And from what I've seen, at least with my example, it has been unreliable. Now, to be fair, Sky does have the DVG-1, which is striker fired, and so that's going to improve the trigger pull significantly and make it more shootable. Uh, as of the date of this video, I see more CPX2s in gun stores than the DVG-1 by far, and so I don't know, I haven't had one in my hands and done a review on it. I've seen some minor reviews from the firearm guy, like the, slide not locking back with, each magazine and stuff, but nothing significant yet. I just think, though, there's better options, and again, every time I go into a gun store, at least my local gun store, I see the CPX2, and that's pretty much it in their whole wide variety of different colors. So that's kind of the worst combination right there that you can possibly get. Again, this is nothing against Sky. They may be making good guns now. Maybe their newer ones are fantastic. I have no idea, but it's just one that I would stay away from, especially for new shooters. But the one I saw the other day that really impressed me was the P365 Rose. So this thing comes in an entire kit, and you have either the P365 XL in 9, or you have the 380 version of the 365 that has the curved trigger. Both of them are optics ready. As a matter of fact, this one that I had one of the Romeo Zeros on it, and it had one of the little aluminum covers to go over the top of the red dot. Now, it's not my favorite red dot, but it came with almost everything that you need to get started. And these things are backed by Lena Michalak, who is one of the best female shooters in the entire world. Now, what I like about the XL specifically is that it has the integrated comp. And while this isn't the best first time gun, like the best, first training gun or anything like that, when it comes to the world of carry guns, the P365 XL, your Spectre comps, even your X Macro that have that integrated comp do a good job because they keep that muzzle down. So if it is a gun that you're going to buy as your, combo first carry gun and one you're going to train on, it's probably one of the best ones you can get because it's still small enough to EDC. It also comes with a red dot. Now, I like the new Romeo X that SIG has come out with way better than I like the Romeo Zero, but it is something that you can use and get used to. And learning how to shoot with a dot, I just did a video on this, can be a very useful way for you to get into this and much easier than lining up your iron sights. The thing with this one though is it actually does have the co-witnessing x-ray sights, which are good too. So you can use both and learn how to shoot with your dot and your irons. It also comes with two 12-round mags, so it's really good capacity. For some people it might be, or for some women, depending upon what you wear, it might be a little big inside the waistband. It may cause some printing issues, but that's why they have the P365 380 version if the XL is a little bit too big for you. And the P365 380 is a good size too. It's a little bit bigger, kind of like the 42 in a way, where they didn't make this super small LCP type of carry gun, which is like way too small, in a lot of cases, especially on a gun that you're going to learn on. They made it a little bit bigger, but that also makes a more shootable gun, less potent than a 9, but also less felt recoil. So it really depends on, what you want and what you feel comfortable with, but 380 is the minimum threshold for concealed carry, and that's what they offer with that version. Also comes with an assist loader, and so these really help to save your fingers at the range. The Up-Lula ones are actually the way to go because they're a much better option, but it still comes with it. Comes with snap caps, 5 of them. They're actually like black snap caps in this lace bag, again, to appeal to women. But one of the coolest things it comes with is a TSA approved case, and it comes with a training tool straight from Lena Michalak herself. I think there's a little download option, and so she will provide training for you with that gun. Part of the problem is some gun shops. They will recommend some of these pretty guns and, oh yeah, this is going to fit you great, honey, and blah, 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 and not provide any information afterwards. And so what you don't want is somebody buying one of these small, pretty guns, going home, and not really knowing anything about it. Now, of course, they can turn to, people like me or Mrs. Headshot or other good established YouTube channels that are teaching shooters, how to manipulate and use their gun in self-defense situations, or what is the best gun for them, or some of the best and worst carry guns, whatever information you're looking for. But it is nice that you have somebody that sells you a pistol with this entire case and everything you need, and they give you training to go along with it. And there's really no better person to teach, especially other women, how to shoot than Lena Michalak. The only thing this kid is really missing is a good solid holster, but once you get that, you're good to go. You have the snap caps so you can practice at home. You could be watching TV and doing whatever. You load those snap caps in and you start practicing those shots. And you just want to get, the best trigger pull you possibly can. And of course, that training tool that Lena Michalak gives you, you can follow along however that works. I haven't watched the video, but I know it comes with it. And that is the way that it's done. That's the way it should be, because it is a nice looking gun. Obviously, it appeals to women, but at the same time, it doesn't leave them hanging, and it also doesn't give them a really hard to shoot and kind of sucky concealed carry. You're getting one of the best ones out there, no matter if you go with the 365, 380, or the XL. I prefer the XL, but I like it. It's just a little bit bigger, and overall, I really love that gun. But the 365, again, is one of the best concealed carries out there. That's the way to do it. That, to me, is not a scam, whereas some of the others definitely are. You also have guns like the 42 in this Tiffany blue. It's going to be a cheaper option because it doesn't come with, the little safe and all of that kind of stuff. It doesn't come with any kind of training manual or download or whatever inside of the case. But this is also another really good option. It's a little bit bigger, like I said, and it is fairly easy to learn how to shoot on. Now, I don't like the sights on these guns. This one isn't optics ready, so there are some benefits with the SIG over some of these others. I think SIG even makes a Tiffany blue, or they might call it an egg blue or something like that. But so on the surface, these pretty guns are not an issue as long as you're picking a good pretty gun and a solid reputation like the 365 or the XL, and you're getting some training to go along with it, because that is the complete package. That's my opinion on it, man. I'd love to hear yours down in the comments below, no matter if you're a first-time shooter, maybe you're a woman and you're just now learning, or maybe you're a better shot than me. Doesn't matter. Let me know what you think down below. Big thanks to you guys for watching. See you in the next one. And as always, hold them down.